impression when I first came to this industry that, you know, your therapists they don't like to talk about sales. And the front desk staff a little bit, but, you know, they want to sit at the desk and they want to pick up the phone and be nice and say hi, and that's about it. And so when Todd talks about I came in and said I was going to sell, well, we came in with the idea that we're going to be a sales organization first, period. Residual income, I mean, I'm hoping that that's what everyone here pays for. Is that not what we're trying to do? If you're here as a talking piece, if this is a trophy business for you, congratulations with your other accomplishments. That's fantastic. I haven't been able to do that. We came into this to sell. There's no other way to put it. And when you go and sell, you have to ask yourself, what do you need to sell? And the first thing that you have to have is the best product possible. We talked to Envy. We talked to Elements. I think within the first 30 seconds of talking to Envy, they wanted to know my net worth. I said, whoa, I'm easy. I'm not that easy. So it was, you know, from the beginning, talking to John, listening to Rob Beers, talk about what Hand and Stone does, we give a great experience. We've demonstrated that in our spas from day one. We had a situation where microderm machine went down. Carly, you'll probably remember this. I was so just put off by the fact that I was going to have to move my members' appointments that we wound up spending some extra money buying a brand new microderm machine and getting it there so we didn't have to rearrange a Saturday morning. That went miles with my staff. We worked all the time, and I mean all the time, making sure that the people in our spa who are served the best are our customers. I think you can all relate to the fact that occasionally our employees believe that the spa is there to serve them instead of serve the customers. First priority is the customer. We cannot accomplish anything that we've done to this point without making sure our customers are happy. After looking at those attrition numbers, I got some work to do. We really need to get back to making sure that the customer comes first. We're missing the ball. Our next priority with this spa is conversion percentage. How many people here track their conversion percentage? So you folks all share my frustration with the VIDEO0017? Sorry, Brock, that's a cheap shot. Sorry, what do you say? Okay. And you know what? Let's go with that. The conversion percentage, folks, is the difference between us and the mom and pops. Bottom line, for us, we have a model that you cannot copy. It works perfectly if you're using it properly. So many of you have come to me and said, hey, what's your secret? We convert. Well, what do you mean? I look back and well, what do you mean? We convert. 1 out of 5, day in and day out, and if we're not converting 1 out of 5, we ask ourselves what's wrong. We measure, monitor, and coach all employees. When we first started tracking things, it was we were a month into Lake Mary, and the conversion numbers were okay, but not great. Rob here says to me, well, what's your conversion percentage for your therapist? What? Oh, I was only tracking the front desk. So I was literally bludgeoning the front desk every week with their numbers. We dug in. We looked at the therapists. We had a therapist that had taken 52 appointments in 6 weeks, converted 1 member. So now all of our thinking is based on if we had converted 20% from that therapist, what would we have received? That's where we should be. That's where we get all of our goals and our targets from. People respect what you inspect. Sales cliche, I know. I'm not Tony Robbins. But it's true. When we're paying attention to what our staff is doing, they do a better job. I haven't seen it any other way. Yet when we communicate with our employees, what we're told quite often is, you're in my business too much. Why are we tracking this? Oh, Jeff hired me. He told me I didn't have to sell. Well, we say that because we don't want our therapists selling. We want them asking their customers to come back and see them. That's all any of us want, right? Come back and see us again, and again, and again. When we go through our expectations with our employees, we had to kind of specialize some things. Conversion percentage goes across all three disciplines in the spot: front desk, therapists, estheticians. But from there, you get into some of the things that are unique. The average gift card, we track that for our front desk. That average gift card, we're not looking at how many they sell as much as we're looking at what the value of each gift card is that they sold. I have to say that the number of opportunities to sell a gift card is based on what I'm doing as an owner, making sure that we have bodies coming through the front door. And yes, they should be asking for the gift card sale, so they do have some control over it. But what's more important to me is the person who walks through that front door and says, I want a gift card. They shouldn't be leaving with a, heaven forbid, a $39.95 gift card, right? That doesn't exist. A $50 gift card, bare minimum. But it needs to be a $75, an $80, $85, $100 average. Makes a big difference for us, a huge difference. It also means that when your average is low, your front desk isn't spending the time with the customer that they need to, and for us it's been a signal for other things. The product sales, and we won that little award thing in there. We push it very hard. We have had complaints from our estheticians that I'm not going to sell product to a customer that doesn't need it. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. But I can tell that they needed it. Well, come on, Don, you weren't even there. How did you know? They had an appointment, didn't they? I mean, if they're coming in for a facial, they're screaming, hey, I don't like what I got going on here. I'd like something better. Yet, we get that pushback, that resistance that we don't want to sell. Requests. We track our requests. I don't think for us, we handle requests quite the same way everyone else does. I've heard from a lot of different people, and I'm going to pick on you again, Rob, that you need to reward your therapists who have been with you the longest, right? The ones that have the most requests, because by default, longevity breeds requests, or at least it should. We changed that philosophy a little while ago. What have you done for me lately? If you have requests and you've earned them, we absolutely give them to you. Except for when you change your schedule and you're not available, or you're sick, right? But if you're here and doing a good job, we give you your requests. You've earned them, congratulations, here you go. However, we used to give them their prospects based on their requests too. It was the inverse of what should go on. The conversion percentage should dictate the prospects. Because if they're doing a good job and attracting new people versus being kind of sedentary and just working their requests, it boosts your numbers unbelievably. It does give you a little bit of pushback. There's a lot of therapists that will say, well, I've been here so long, I deserve this. We're really fighting that in our spots. It's a challenge. But the therapists who do get it and are genuine to your business understand that the business is always growing. You have to take your statistics and reward your people based on what you find. 2010 in Lake Mary-Holy, we had a spa-wide competition. We did $150 in gift cards. Just something simple, the basic necessities of life: coffee, gas, groceries. We did top person for conversion, $150. Top membership by count, so we just produced the most members. They got $150. And we did a team goal. As long as the spa reached the goal, we gave everybody that worked in the spa $50 gift cards. Worked well for us. Coming into 2011, I remember corporate ran a thing for the hot stone. The most hot stones. They gave away the warmer, the cooker and the stones. we wanted to compete with corporate, so in 2011, we decided we were going to give away a cruise to each of our 3 spots. Now, I'm cheating a little bit. We do own a travel agency. So, probably not exactly fair. But we did a 4-day, 3-night cruise from Port Canaveral to the Bahamas. I'll break down for you kind of how we did with 3 spas.
Can we call you cruise rate? Yeah.
Sure. Absolutely. I'm not cross-selling.
You'll see 5%.
Fair enough. That routine. We set it up this way. Each spa, to get a cabin for their spa, had to hit a membership goal. So, you know, Claremont has just opened, so Claremont, I think, needed to do 400 members by the time that the contest ended September 1st, and so on and so forth. And then within each discipline in the spa, they competed only with themselves. So Palm Harbor was not competing with Lake Mary. The front desk people were not competing with the therapist. Top front desk person, top therapist, top esthetician for each spa. Congratulations, you won the contest. You're guaranteed $150 in gift cards. Great job. Then we took all of those people and we drew 1 cabin from each spot. So everybody had a 1 in 3 chance of going on the cruise. And then on top of that, we picked up 1 extra cabin, and we had kind of a second chance drawing. So the folks that didn't win the first cabin, they then were put into the drawing for the next cabin, and we had another winner pick from that. So we sent 4 employees, plus we sent a manager, recognized Christine for Palm Harbor for doing a great job. And then we sent Jeff on the cruise, and it worked out very well. The value that we gained from spending, I want to say like $3,600 is what our cost was. The value that we picked up from memberships, from engagement with our employees, and the biggest thing that we learned is information. We picked up so much information about our employees from posting their statistics in the break room. I have to tell you guys, we didn't originally do this. It was kind of frowned upon. I sought some advice from people. I wouldn't post statistics in my break room. Well, why? You're gonna tick people off. We tick people off. As we started digging deeper, you know what we learned? The people who were uncomfortable with their statistics being posted, yeah, I've seen the faces. It's clicking, right? The people who didn't want their statistics posted weren't doing them. It was a fantastic way for our problems to raise their hands and say, hey, I don't agree with how you're running your own business. This isn't what I want to do. I want to do it my way. Create some stress. My managers, I'll say that there's some pretty hard-working ladies. My partner, Jeff, I mean, I literally call that guy 10 times a day and tell him to go put out problems and fix things, whatever else. But our proof of our success is in our numbers. We work hard. Our culture is very simple. As many members as possible. Why do we do it? Why do I put that much emphasis? Why do I have this drive for members? First of all, it's predictable cash flow. I come from the travel industry. I took my job in the travel industry September 17th, 2001. What happened to the day before that? I took a job in the travel industry and there was no travel industry. It was gone. Predictable cash flow to someone like me, pretty important. If something happens that we don't see coming, the advantage that we have over all the mom and pops and any of our competitors who aren't doing a good job with their membership base is that when you open your door on the 1st, you can sit down and project how much income am I going to have at a minimum. If not one single prospect walks through my door, what do I have to work with this month? The business operations. We all fight the hiring battle. We all fight the firing battle. If you're sitting there in front of someone and they are good at what they do, they're going to inevitably ask you, well, how are you going to get me appointments? Well, gee, I have 1,000 members. I do 300 appointments a week. That makes a huge difference for your business operation. Plus, how many of you have had that dead spell in your spot, right? All of a sudden, now you're playing cheerleader, trying to keep people's attention engaged, because normally if you're used to having 80, 90 prospects a week, and you have 20, all of a sudden you can't close the door, can you? Guys, why did our closing percentage drop even though we had less prospects? It's the inverse. It's that we're bored. We're used to doing this, and now we're doing this. Easier business operations because your members come in. It's like cheers. If you know their name, they come in, they're happy, and it keeps the day-to-day operations smooth and even, week in and week out. And then, of course, there's the cumulative effect. If you have more members, you're going to have more referrals, right? When you have more referrals, of course, it's going to lead to more members, but then it's also going to lead to what? More gift card sales. And when you have more gift card sales and you're converting, and when those people come in, it's going to lead to more members again, right? And those more members are then going to lead to more product sales and so on and so forth. Our position on membership sales is that if you're not doing that, then what are you doing? God love you guys that are real heavy into the waxing and the specialty products. That's fantastic. For us, we feel like we get everything from our members. Because you can take away gift card sales one week or waxing or product sales, but if I have my members, my business isn't going to miss a beat. We love our members. That's our entire push. That's how we do everything that we do. Now, for those of you who've been around a while, you may or may not know that I took over Palm Harbor. And if you've seen the KPI reports from before, Palm Harbor was a tough spot. Palm Harbor was consistently at the bottom. It was a challenge for us. But our mentality has proved itself in both successful locations and in challenge locations. Palm Harbor's challenge is not the market. It's not the customer, though the customer is different than the person in Lake Mary, but it's also different than the person in Claremont. And I'm sure the folks that you service every day are different than the people I service every day. The real difference with Palm Harbor is the number of prospects. We just don't have that new person coming in all the time. Yet, we have proven day in and day out we can still convert 20%. Talked to a couple owners. Well, people in our area just don't have money. It's an excuse. I was in Palm Harbor and I was told this. They don't have any money. Sitting at the front desk, it was a perfect opportunity for me to have this story. Guy comes in complaining about how broke he is, but he used a black American Express card to pay for his appointment. I said, I don't have a black American Express card. It's a mentality, folks. It is 100% between our ears. We work through this. We set goals of reaching the capacity of our spot. I like to tease the folks over at Winter Springs. I think they've done a fantastic job. They have 6 rooms, 600 plus members. And when I think about running a spot with 6 rooms, it blows my mind to have to switch those people around all the time and handle the capacity with only 6 rooms. We have 9 in Lake Mary, wish we had 12. We've got 12 in Claremont. Hopefully soon I'll be wishing we have 15. The point of the matter, though, is our goal is to literally maximize our spot. I'm going to give you a number you won't believe. If you use every 1 hour slot in your spot, and this is for Lake Mary with 9 rooms, being open Monday through Friday, was it 14 hours a day, whatever it is, Saturday and Sunday, there are 1,410 possible appointments in 1 week. I'll stand here and say it's impossible. It's not going to happen. But I want to see how close to that number I can get. Because as business owners, our job, at least our job should be, to maximize the asset that we've invested in. How many appointments can be processed in a week while maintaining our priority of giving the best possible service? But of your 1,400 and some available spots, how many are you using? If you're doing what you can do with your spot, it becomes an equation. The amount of time that it takes to reach your full capacity equals conversion percentage time processed, right? From there on out, everything else is very simple. It's not rocket science. I certainly am not the smartest man in this room. I have a tremendous amount of respect for other owners that do things way better than I do. I will tell you this, I just don't often get out-efforted. I'm a bulldog, a pit bull, whatever euphemism you want to use, for conversions. We convert day in and day out, and it's simply an attitude.